One hit the line to win the Melbourne Cup. It's a fair bet the three most excited men at Flemington were trainer George Hanlon, jockey Harry White and race caller Clem Dimsey. Clem had the honour of calling the first Cup to be televised live, a task he repeated with distinction 6 more times.
It was a great privilege and honour to call the first live Cup on the O10 network. It's a huge thrill. I mean, it's the ambition of every race caller, I think, to call a Melbourne Cup. And to do that one in particular was a great honour. I can't recall a lot about the actual race, it's just a blur now. But I remember R1 ridden by Harry White defeating Dan DeLeith. I can recall that. That still stays in my mind.
There's only ever been 3 10 callers. Bruce McAvaney took over in 1985.
I think the Melbourne Cup's right up there with any grand final we ever do, and also the Olympic Games. As a young boy, it was my ambition to call the Melbourne Cup, and I've always considered it to be a great honour in Australian sport. I still think it's the biggest day in Australian sport, and to call the Melbourne Cup, I think, is one of the most challenging things that any commentator can take on, and also I think it's one of the most rewarding. I rate it right up there. I think it's as good as you'll ever get in this country.
Since 1990, Dan Malecki has had racing's most important media job. Over the years, 10 has had an array of hosts and interviewers, some who became institutions, like the inaugural host and the man who brought racing to 10, Philip Gibbs. Some looked at fashion, some looked at horses, some looked at the bookies, and some were more successful than others in the difficult task of finding a winner. All had one thing in common: a commitment to the greatest 4-day racing carnival in the world.
Yes, they're all right, Bruce in particular. Nothing gets the adrenaline pumping like the Melbourne Cup. And this is the one of 1997, still on the 10 network for the 20th year. Marvellous creatures, and trainers just love them. Well, now we'll take a short break.